What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. Now shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. In today's Division 2 video, I'm going to give you Title Update 15's patch notes. The patch notes were just released from the Division game on Twitter, Reddit, wherever you find their patch notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to try to sign in to Title Update 15. They did push the update release an hour. I think they just pushed it another hour. But in doing so, they did just release the patch notes. Yeah, so the servers are still down. All right, so let's make our way over to Twitter. And let's go through these patch notes that they just released. All right, so here we are at the Division 2's official Twitter page. And doop-a-doop-a-doo. Here are your patch notes. So 10 minutes ago, the Division 2 said, agents, while we are waiting for the servers to go live, we have a read of the patch notes. Interesting. We have a read of the patch notes? Who wrote this? But anyways, here are the patch notes for Title Update 15. Additionally, we have prepared a list of known issues and highlighted some of the changes implemented after PTS 3. Nice. So first up, we have the patch notes, and then we have what has changed since PTS Phase 3. So let's click on the patch notes. And additionally, I'm going to click on the Phase 3 as well. Okay. So going over to Title Update 15 patch notes, here we are, everyone. And today is the start of Year 4, so this is pretty exciting. All right, so Title Update 15 patch notes. We have a season roadmap where it shows you we have our big bad for Season 9 is going to be Captain Lewis. We'll be able to find him at the end of the season. We have a new countdown game mode. The two new apparel events, one will be at the end of this month and the other one will be in July. Today we'll also unlock the Season 9 Season Pass, which you can purchase for additional like cosmetic items and drops like that. It will also introduce the new expertise leveling system, and then it'll give us manhunt targets, leagues, global events, new gear, and more. And then we have another timeline for Season 9. So remember, you have to take out all of these new manhunt targets to unlock your prime target, Lewis. And then each of these manhunt targets are going to have their own mission takeover. They're all going to have their own main mission in Washington, D.C., where it's been revamped and it's covered in True Sons. Then it says Manhunt. Season 9. The Division narrative and agents will be faced with a new target, Captain Lewis. With Captain Lewis Manhunt, you will have to take down 4 targets. Major Castillo, Lieutenant Chang, Sergeant Daniels, and Major Xander. And then it has that trailer for you if you haven't seen it already. Now it says Expertise. We are introducing a brand new progression feature, Expertise. This is a new way for agents to further improve the maximum performance of selected weapons, gear sets, skill variants, and more. This feature is composed of 2 types of progression systems, the Expertise level and the Proficiency rank. Each eligible item type has a Proficiency rank, which can be increased either by donations or kill XP. It should also say by donating, it says donations, but it's donating materials or donating duplicates or kill XP. So there are 3 ways to do that. The wording here is a little deceiving. Only when an item type reaches the highest proficiency rank possible will the agent become proficient with it and be able to increase the grade of that individual item for that type. Every item type has the same amount of proficiency ranks. We know that it is proficiency rank 10 will make you proficient in that item. Additionally, each agent has a unique expertise level, which increases as the proficiency ranks are gained in more item types. Expertise and proficiency is account wide, so you don't have to do it on each character individually. You could have, you know, a whole bunch of duplicates on one character, a whole bunch of materials on another character, and you could be playing the game on your main character all at the same time, and they're all going to increase your proficiency ranks and expertise level. And then it says changes based on the PTS feedback. They have lowered the cost of field recon data, shade calibration, and exotic materials by half from levels 11 to 20. Now, levels 1 to 10 and 21 plus will remain unchanged. Right now, the max level is 20, not 21 plus, but assuming whenever they come out with more gear, you're going to have more things to become proficient in, and then it will increase your expertise level over that level 20. It says reduce the material requirements for all ranks of gear pieces by another half. Now, gear pieces will require 2 times less materials for upgrades to make it more consistent with the number of materials needed for weapon skins and skill upgrades. Added, donate all junk button is now added to the main expertise menu. Remember that let's try this again. That button, it used to say donate all, and it would actually donate everything. So now that it says donate all junk, just make sure that you mark whatever it is, you know, the duplicate or whatever you're trying to put into that item to become proficient. Make sure it's marked as junk and not favorited. Let's see if this update is live yet. I don't think it is. Nope, it's not. All right. So the update is still not live, so let's continue with our patch notes. Now it says the different types. We have expertise level, which is your agent level. We have the proficiency rank, which is your item level. Proficient means you have reached max proficiency in that item. And then grade is when you upgrade that proficient item. Now it says research categories, weapons, gear brands, gear sets, named items, exotics, skill variants, and specialization weapons. I've been telling you guys for several videos now, the named items and exotics are going to be the 2 hardest item types to become proficient in. That's why I was saying to have as many duplicates as you can on your character. That way, when this goes live, you can just donate them and make those items proficient that way. All right, then we have Countdown. So Countdown's being released today as well. That is the new PvE game mode. And here it is. So Countdown is a new 8-player in-game mode for the Division 2. 2 groups of 4 agents are deployed into a power plant to prevent a lockdown. Remember the 2 groups, it's just like the raids where you're going to have 2 different subgroups. Racing against the clock, the agents must work together to secure the site and stabilize the power plant. Believing their mission is complete, the agents prepare for extraction and are pursued by heavily armed and technologically advanced hostiles, aka hunters. And then you can see it's an 8-player PvE, timed, various objectives, randomized encounters, new gear and weapons, and it is available to matchmake. Then you have this cool new Season 9 image. And then it says new gear. Oh, yeah. With Title Update 15 comes a booster shot of powerful new items to add to your collection or arsenal. All told, Title Update 15 will be adding 3 new exotics, 1 new gear set, 1 new brand set, new weapons for a total of 4 new named items. And then you can see right here, this is the Catharsis mask. And yeah. All right, here we go. And then it says exotic mask Catharsis. That's funny. Now it says for the named gear, we will have the closer, which will be the named chest piece with the talent Perfect Spotter. Now Perfect Spotter is going to amplify total weapon damage and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. Then we're going to have the setup. This is the named backpack with perfectly opportunistic. Now, enemies you hit with shotguns or snipers will amplify the damage they take by 15% from all sources. Now we have the new gear set, the Heartbreaker. Now, having 2 pieces of Heartbreaker on, you will get 15% AR and LMG damage. With 3 pieces on, you will get 15% weapon handling. And with 4 pieces on, you will unlock that talent, Heart Stopper. Now, Heart Stopper headshots will apply a pulse for 5 seconds. Weapon hits on that pulsed enemy will add and refresh a stack of bonus armor and damage to that pulsed enemy for 5 seconds. You can have a max stack of 50. Now, with the chest piece, you will have a max of 100 stacks. And then with the backpack, your stacks will now supply 2% bonus armor per stack. So that's why a lot of the times I was running the backpack instead of the chest piece, because you can gain that bonus armor twice as fast with that backpack, and then running it with the closer, the perfect spotter chest piece, it'll actually do more damage than using the chest piece from Heartbreaker. A lot of people were saying use the Heartbreaker for the 100%, but sadly, that increase is not going to be as good of burst damage as the perfect spotter with the backpack, because then you get the bonus armor twice as fast and you get amplified damage right out the gate. Then we have the new gear set. This is the Uzina Gattaca. Now, using 1 piece of Uzina Gattaca will give you 5% total armor. Using 2 will give you 10% armor on kill. And then wearing 3 pieces of Uzina Gattaca will give you 10% hazard protection. Going down to the new weapons. Starting off with the Dread Edict. This is the exotic sniper that is a variation of the SVD. The talent is called Full Stop. Shooting enemies will build stacks to a cap of 20. Each stack headshots will grant you 2 stacks at a time. Each stack will grant you 2% weapon damage and 5% headshot damage. On reload, all of those stacks will be cleared out, and you will gain 5% of your max armor as temporary armor for 10 seconds for each of those stacks. So again, you can get up to 20 stacks, and with max stacks, you will have 40% weapon damage and 100% headshot damage. Now, if you had max stacks and then you reload, you will then have 100% bonus armor as temporary armor for 10 seconds. Now it says headshot kills with the Dread Edict will restore all bullets in the magazine, and this does not count as a reload. So as long as you get a headshot kill, it'll reload your magazine for you. Then we have the exotic mask, the Catharsis. The talent Vicious Cycle. Taking damage will build stacks to a cap of 30. Each stack will grant you 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stacks will trigger a purge, removing all stacks and status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud, which restores 5% of your armor for 10 seconds to all allies within that cloud. So this is really good. It removes status effects, and then it drops a healing cloud. That's pretty big. Then we have the exotic LMG, the blue screen, with the talent Disruptor Rounds. Now, shooting an enemy will mark them and add a stack to the agent to a count of 50. Shooting a marked enemy will refresh this mark and add stacks to the agent. When you deploy a non-shield skill, it will remove all stacks that you have on that agent, and all marked targets will trigger an effect. Now, these effects are due to how many bullets you have stacked on that enemy. So 1 to 10 stacks, you will pulse the marked target for 5 seconds. 11 to 25 stacks, you will pulse and disrupt that target for 5 seconds. 26 to 49 stacks, you will pulse, disrupt, and disorient that target for 5 seconds. And then finally, the 50 stack, You will pulse, disrupt, disorient, and all hostiles within 10 meters will also be marked for 5 seconds. Now, this effect will trigger immediately if any marked enemies are killed. Pretty awesome. So, talking about these exotics, obviously the Dread Edict, you're going to want that with high headshot damage and just a lot of reds. That way you can get those kills and never have to reload. The Catharsis is going to be more of like a tanky build. That way you can out-tank status effects and players, that is, and still have some room for damage. And then the blue screen exotic is going to be perfect for those status effects builds, especially in PvE, because then you can build these stacks up with the Vile Mask and use it that way as well. These are going to be really strong exotics. All right, then we have our named weapons. First up, the Dare. So the Dare is the named LMG, and it is a GR9. Now this will come with Perfect Flatline. So Perfect Flatline will amplify weapon damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. After 2 kills, it will automatically apply a pulse to the next enemy you hit. And then the Kingbreaker, the exact same thing, just the assault rifle version. Both of these will come with the Perfect Flatline, which amplifies your damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. Then we have this really sick Hunter image. This is a really cool image. I like this a lot. All right, balance and adjustments. Adjustments have been made to the functioning of various talents in order to curtail undesirable behaviors and imbalance. Overview. Modifications to the shield skill behaviors. So it says shields will now take significantly more damage in PvP and now irresistibly disorient their user when broken. Easiest way to get out of that is just break your shield before the enemy does it. So put your shield away, let it come back, and then bring your shield back out. If you let the enemy destroy it, it's going to mess you up. Then it says excluded shields from the in-sync talent. So in-sync and perfectly in-sync will now not trigger from shield skills. The text of these talents have been updated. Then it says update to intimidate and perfect intimidate. New behavior. While you have bonus armor, you will gain 1 stack each second for a max of 7. Each of these stacks will increase your total weapon damage, so it's not amplified anymore, by 5% to each enemy within 10 meters. All stacks are lost when you have no bonus armor, and the perfect version will give you 1 extra stack. And then in PvP, your damage will be decreased by 20%. Not bad. That sucks. They definitely wanted to get rid of the metas. So they got rid of the shield meta, they got rid of the in-sync shield meta, and then they got rid of the intimidate adrenaline rush meta. Design notes. Shield skills have been unbalanced for quite some time and have grown to be a dominant build tactic in both PvE and PvP. Combined with in-sync, shields provide a unparalleled, no downside DPS boost. In addition, Intimidate, when combined with various methods of gaining short-term bonus armor, this made it deeply unfair in ambush situations in PvP and led to an undesirable PvE meta as well. As such, Intimidate now requires a slow build-up before reaching maximum effectiveness. And that's basically why they nerfed those metas. Then it says gameplay adjustments. They added a disorienting effect to the players when their shield breaks. They updated Intimidate and Perfect Intimidate, so they ramp up their effectiveness. Omit shields from effects of the in-sync talent. Increase the PvP damage to the shields. And repair traps now heal allies for the proper amount. Okay. Now we're going to talk about this season pass. So we're getting another season pass, this time for season 9. And it says this optional season pass is available for 1,000 premium credits, which will equate to about $10 US. In the in-game store, granting additional cosmetics and opportunities for season gear as you progress. So it's not a play to win type of deal. It's just going to give you more caches and some cosmetic items. Then we have apparel events. So first up, we have the Fairview apparel event. And here's one of the outfits right here. Little countdown shout out. You have the Pintco. That's the reactor power plant corporation for Countdown. And it says the Fairview apparel event will feature 27 new apparel items to gather, collect, and use to deck out your agent starting on May 24th. This event is open to all Warlords of New York owners who have completed the New York campaign. Rewards and progress are automatically enabled at the start of the event. So remember, you need to have a level 40 character, and the only way to do so is you have to beat Warlords of New York. And then the next apparel event right here is the street activation. It says July 5th. And it says the street activation apparel event will feature 27 new items to gather, collect, and use to deck out your agent starting July 5th. So what is that? That's 54 new apparel items we are getting in Season 9. 54. And then at the end it says we are very excited to bring this update to the Division 2. Keep an eye out for known issues, which we will share on our official forum. And that's where it goes right here, the known issues discussion. So here we are. Put in your date, make sure you're not a robot. Boo-doo, boop, boo-doo. There we go. Okay. So known issues, and this is from the Ubisoft discussions forum on ubisoft.com. And this is from UB Neptune, and this is a community manager with Ubisoft. And it says, hello agents, here are some known issues and changelog for title update 15. First up is Countdown. So it says, a player with a hardcore character and another player with a non-hardcore character are able to create a Countdown group through invites. So you can play Countdown with your hardcore character. Then it says, multiple incomplete groups are created instead of a full group while matchmaking for Countdown. Game crashes if matchmaking for Countdown is started inside Coney Island safe zone. So don't start Countdown if you are in the Coney Island safe zone. If so, it says it might make your game crash. And then it says missing game music while spectating other people. And then it says the black screen occurs after pressing spectate in the end screen. Interesting. Then we have Season 9, and these are all problems that they know. These are all known issues, so just remember this, people. So it says, Season 9 menu appears grayed out with no input over the events of the player access to the premium store from Season 9, while in the Manhunt debrief cinematic. Okay, so while you are in the Manhunt debrief cinematic, that's a cutscene. Don't go into the menu while you are watching that cinematic. Just watch the cinematic, and then you can go back. Then it says reward track. In order to receive the apparel cache keys from the premium rewards track in the rewards track screen, the game needs to be rebooted. Okay, interesting. In order to receive the textiles currency from the premium season tracker, the game needs to be rebooted. Okay, so whenever you receive a new apparel cache key or textiles from, getting duplicates, just reset your game and it will give you the keys and the proper currency. And it says placeholder names are present for some cosmetic premium rewards on the track for languages other than English. Okay. So the correct reward names are displayed once it is in your inventory. So if you are playing this game in, say, Spanish, French, Italian, what have you, some of the placeholder names might not be in that language until you actually get that item in your inventory. Then manhunts. Complete the debrief mission to finish the manhunt. Prompt is missing in localizations when looking to the manhunt tab. placeholder icon, and missing text from Prime Target Reward in Manhunt tab. So the Manhunt tab seems to be bugged at the moment, and it is not going to prompt you for missing stuff when looking into the Manhunt tab. So basically, just don't even look at the Manhunt tab right now. Okay. Gears and weapons. The knee pads don't appear in gear slot. Applying dyes to the Uzina will not change the colors. Okay, so Uzina Getica, you're not going to be able to change the colors of that set. You need to change the appearance first. So make sure you change that appearance mod to something else, and then you can change the color. If you're going to use it and not change the appearance, then you cannot change the color. And then it says Heartbreaker gear set. Applying dyes to the Heartbreaker gear set will not change the color. Again, you need to change the appearance of that gear set first, and then you can change the color of it. So it's showing that the new gear set and the new brand set, if you are just putting them on and you want to change their colors, you are not allowed to at this time. Okay. UI, loading tips are missing from loading screens. Okay, whatever. The frame rate may drop on Xbox Series X and S when opening up a weapon gear skin in the apparel menu. Graphical corruptions on Xbox X and Series S may be encountered for split second while performing normal gameplay. Interesting. Graphical corruptions. Okay. Then it says for the changelog for the gear and weapons, for the Heartbreaker mask, this mask should give you a blue defense stat, and that is fixed. The focus talent doesn't work with the new exotic Dread Edict, that is now fixed. The Disruptor round talent from the blue screen cannot be triggered, that is now fixed. The Kingbreaker and TKB 408 ARs rate of fire was increased from 500 to 650. The Dare LMG no longer uses AR attachments. The talents Intimidate and Perfect Intimidate are no longer max stack in PvP. And minor weapon and gear UI issues are now fixed. Perfect Jeopardy talent has been removed from the Kingbreaker and Dare, and Perfect Flatline has been added. Flatline basic talent has now been added to the advanced weapon talents pool. Whew, it's a lot of stuff to read here. A lot of these changes we already found out during the PTS, but they're just putting it in the patch notes because a lot of people were unable to play the PTS. All right, let's go down to expertise. So expertise UI changes. They added mark as favorite button and exclamation points for each of those new items. They added a donate all button for donating all items marked as junk in the inventory, similar to how you can deconstruct or sell all your junk items. They have fixed the donate materials in bulk, and they have fixed the donate items in bulk. The expertise progression pace. New values have been set to ensure that the gear set proficiency XP is gained at a less considerable pace. The more gear set pieces you have, the more XP you will gain. And we'll talk about that later in a expertise leveling system video. Basically, if you have a gear set on, the more gear set items for that gear set, the more XP you can gain, the faster you can make it proficient. The expertise issue that was causing inconsistent upgrade bonuses is now fixed. They fixed a visual bug. They added support for armor bonus. They added the expertise level on characters' decoration items. They fixed bonus attribute replication, and they updated the bonus values. The issue with expertise rank progress will not be gained in the Dark Zone on it's now fixed. So now you can gain your ranks in the expertise in the Dark Zone. Then it says cost reduction. Lowered cost for field recon, shade calibration, and exotic materials by half from levels 11 to 20, 1 to 10, and 21 plus remain unchanged. Reduce the materials required for all ranks of gear pieces by half. Now gear pieces will require 2 times less materials for upgrades to make it more consistent with the number of materials needed for weapon and skills. And then finally, other. It says the issue with infinite loading screen after countdown has now been resolved. They fixed the delta error when matchmaking. That has been resolved. They have fixed the delta error when accepting matchmaking. That has been resolved. They fixed a delta during normal gameplay with the Catharsis mask, which has been resolved. And they have fixed the delta error when using the Heartbreaker gear set. Whew. All right. That is a lot of changes and well worth it. Very cool. So I hope everyone is enjoying themselves. Season 9 should be out already, but we will we'll check it out. Now, let's see. I think that's about it for this video. We went over all of the patch notes and we went over all of the known bugs. So without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go and I'm going to jump into this new title update. So I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. I am Kamikazevondoom, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.